Welcome to P3. I'm Ronald Mark. This is the show that explores the fascinating people, places, and perspectives that make up our world. Do you like basketball? Well, I got a chance to have an exclusive one-on-one conversation with superstar Steve Nash. And later on, the hit band 5440 lead singer Neil Osborne comes in studio and tells me about his trip with World Vision to South America. Wooden roller coasters can be kind of scary. I get a chance to experience one for myself. Stick around, it's going to be a great show. Two-time NBA Most Valuable Player and six-time All-Star Steve Nash is one of the top basketball players today in Canada. Nash now plays point guard for the Phoenix Suns. He still loves his hometown, though, and he has opened a number of high-end sports clubs in BC. I had a chance to have a chat one-on-one with this superstar at the grand opening of the Steve Nash Sports Club in Richmond, British Columbia. He shared with me his love of the sport and his passion for underprivileged kids.
Steve, we're down here at this brand new facility in Richmond. What was the impetus in opening this place up?
We just, I love fitness. I love health and wellness and people trying to improve their lifestyle and way of life. So for me, I initially got involved because I spent my life in gyms and really believe in fitness. And I realized that people really had a need for it. People wanted it here. So the first one opened up downtown and we found a location and we opened up the second one here in Richmond. So it feels great. It's exciting that people are responding so positively towards it, and hopefully it'll continue to grow and we can build them all around the Lower Mainland.
Well, it's very cool, and it's very funky. It's an open feel. There's a lot of great natural light. One of the things that I know that you're big into is you're into trying to get kids involved in fitness and exercise. Why for you is that such a key thing?
I think it's important for kids to start early, to create a lifestyle and a habitual way of life that leads itself to as much happiness and success and positivity as possible. So for kids, I think, it's difficult to start late, but when you start early, it becomes easier. So that's important to me. And I just think also that for kids to, learn characteristics like discipline, goal setting, work ethic, it's important too. And I think sports and fitness really provides that for people.
You had that modeled from your entire family. When your brother's this great soccer player. By the way, do you ever go, I could kick his butt?
No. There was a time when we were kids that I might have, as I was the big brother, but he's had a phenomenal career and I've been really proud to watch him.
That's very cool. Well, you do all this fun stuff. I mean, you've never stopped your passion for soccer. Obviously, started that with your passion for soccer. You've never really given that up. All your tricks and stuff you do with the basketball with your foot. I saw that one YouTube bit where you kicked it in.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. Admit that.
Thanks. It was a fluke. No, it was fun. I got to actually make that spot with Michael Bay, who directed Transformers. So it was a cool day all around.
That's pretty cool. Another one of the things is that you're part of this behind us here, the Steve Nash Foundation. Huge thing in your heart. You are not satisfied just being a basketball star. You really want to give back to the community. Where did this first come from?
I think it just comes from the community I grew up in, the family I grew up in. My dad used to volunteer for Special Olympics. To get an understanding of that at an early age. Terry Fox, people that really had an impact on our lives and at an impressionable age, I think led to me wanting to get involved, wanting to view the world as a global community, wanting to help people that are underserved or aren't afforded some of the things that I'm afforded.
Do you come across, rather than just giving money, do you come across real individuals, real kids that you actually get to meet, know their name, and know how their lives are different? Give me one of those stories that are in your brain.
We do, all the time. We've been in Paraguay, in Arizona, in British Columbia, Central America. We're doing stuff in Africa. So I've met kids all over the world who could use the help. And it's been really fun to get to know them, meet them, see what they've gone through, and just try to improve their quality of life.
That's one of the things you're known by, is that you're a guy who says, I'm not satisfied just being a sports star. I want to use that as a platform to engage people's lives and to better the world. How do you inspire that kind of passion in other people?
Well, I don't know. I just try to be myself. I try to enjoy my life the way I know how. I try to, go out there and participate and experience things and travel and learn and open my eyes and my life up to opportunities to learn new things. So for me, that leads itself to one commonality, and that's looking at the world as a global community and looking at everyone as somebody that we should consider family. So it's been a lot of fun, really, to be honest, to have that as a passion, because it incorporates so many great opportunities.
Part 2 of my one-on-one interview with Steve Nash right after the break. Welcome back to P3. What struck me about Steve Nash was how down to earth he was. He shared his views on being a dad and inspiring his own kids.
You've got kids now, and do you ever think, how do I mean, you're dad, you want to inspire your own kids. I got 4 daughters, and I'm thinking all the time, how do I inspire them? I know that sport is so big, especially with girls, to give them this sense of confidence. Well, how do you think about that as a dad?
Yeah, I think about it. I don't really know the answer to that. It's difficult. Obviously, I want my girls to grow up and be citizens of the world, and to be proactive and to be leaders and to be happy and healthy. But I don't really know the answer. All I know is that I want to just try to love them and be there for them, spend time with them, so they can have the best possible self-esteem and self-image as possible. That'll allow them to go out there into the world, and not be afraid to participate.
Steve, you had a lot of fun on videos. You were into this stuff. If you kind of go on YouTube, you're all over the place having a riot. What is it? What's your passion around the movie stuff, videos?
Well, I love film,
Yeah.
and so I started a production company. And obviously, with the internet and with digital technology, it's much easier for everyone to be a filmmaker these days. So, one of the inroads for me was to write and direct some of my own commercials and to write and direct some skits that allow me an inroad into the industry. And I started a production company with my cousin in London, who's a director. And actually, this week we're directing a documentary for ESPN on Terry Fox. So I took a little time out of my day for this, but we've been working sunrise to sundown every day this week, and it's been absolutely a pleasure as a young filmmaker to tell his story, but to also go back and remind myself in detail what a human being he was and what a story it is and what impact he's had on all of our lives. So it feels great, not only as a filmmaker but as a human being to be a part of that.
Wow. You also have some fun. I mean, the thing you did on Step Brothers and the thing you did on Letterman, those things are hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, it is fun, I don't know. I mean, I love to laugh. I love to laugh with my friends. So, and I love film. So it seemed like an obvious partnership to make little films and to make people laugh and offer the fans a little bit of our personalities.
One of the things that everyone always says is that if you meet Steve, he's totally down to earth. He's just this normal guy who's just really good at basketball. What are you going to do after you finish your career? Do you have these goals? You say, this is what I want to achieve yet?
Well, what I'm trying to do at this stage of my career, I still want to improve as a basketball player. And at the same time, I want to be able to set myself up to follow my passions after basketball. So the Whitecaps, being an owner in the Whitecaps, going to the MLS allows me to, it's something that I think is going to be so exciting for the Lower Mainland and for me as a Whitecaps fan for 35 years. It's amazing. My production company, we're directing our first film at the moment, but we're making commercials as well. My foundation, I want that to go on forever. The sports clubs, these are all things that I really am passionate about and believe in, and they're underway before my career is over, so that it'll allow, hopefully, my transition to be a lot more seamless into retirement.
That's very cool. Steve, thanks so much for your time today, and all the best. I just hope you all the best, not only in your basketball career, but particularly in the stuff that you're doing in the community. BC can be so proud of a guy like you. Thanks, all the best, buddy.
Thank you. You got it, man.
To find a Steve Nash Sports Club near you, visit stevenashsportsclub.com. Coming up next, Neil Osborne from 5440. Welcome back to P3. We're joined in studio by Neil Osborne, lead singer of 5440. Neil, you've been on the show before and you played some great tunes for us, but I wanted to chat with you on today's show about your guys' connection with World Vision. I think it's kind of a neat crossover that you as a band would say, hey, we want to kind of be involved in the world in a global way. How did you guys get involved and what have you guys done?
Well, initially, I was asked in Victoria to be part of a promotion campaign where anybody that sponsors a child for World Vision would get to go to a free concert.
That's pretty cool.
At the Royal Theatre, yeah. So I said yes to that. Yeah. There's a little synchronistic element or serendipitous element in the sense that I had just seen Stephen Lewis talk. You know, and he just finished his term.
He's powerful, by the way. Yeah.
He just finished his sort of term as the UN ambassador to, what was it, AIDS in Africa and things like that. So, yeah, I was just totally, like, floored by what he had to say and how devastating this problem is. And then somebody got up and said, well, what can we do? Right. You know, how do you help? And so one of the things he said was, well, World Vision is a good way. And he sort of listed a few things. Next day, I got this call.
And you're like, I'm primed.
This is World Vision. Like, it just happened.
Wow.
And I said, yeah. And then they said, okay, do you want to go somewhere? We can send you somewhere sort of quickly. Yeah. So when you do the concert, you have some perspective on how this works. Right. And I said, sure. So they sent me to Honduras.
Just by yourself, with your family?
No, they asked if I want to take my wife. She was working, so I took my daughter.
What a great experience. What was that like for her?
It blew her mind. It blew both of our minds. Yeah. It was a wonderful experience. And, you know, it was about 3 or 4 days, very quick. But we got a good perspective. In other words, we saw a community that they had worked on for 10 years, because it's all about building communities, not so much just taking one kid. It's a long-term
sustainable thing.
You're special, we're yanking you out of the slum, and you're okay, and the rest of them will get to you when we can. No, they build a community. I mean, the child that you sponsor does get some, you know, medical education, a few other things like that, but a lot of the money goes into the community that they're in, and they target a community. So we saw this community, and met a bunch of the kids, and everybody was really happy, and it was coming along, and there was just a good feeling to it. Then they showed us a community that they want to go to next, and the difference was incredible. I'm talking, you know, people going to the bathroom in the same creek that they're washing their clothes in, that kids are playing in, that it's just like, it's just tough. Right. Tough. I mean, still friendly people, believe it or not, happy kids, but just like disease
but their
everywhere.
Life, like their level of just life is so much lower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on many kind of edges. So, you know, and they're saying, well, this community that we want to target was exactly like this one we've been helping for 10 years. And I went, well, if that's the case, you guys are way right on the track here. This is awesome. Let's do this. So.
And that obviously hit you. How has it impacted you since then? I mean, are you sponsoring a kid, or where are you at?
We're sponsoring a kid, another guy in the band sponsoring a kid, and we did a tour with World Vision, you know, sort of brought them in so that, you know, and I did my little, sort of brought it to people's attention. Right. It's a wonderful, you know, at the time we were doing the tour in November, December, so it's a wonderful gift to give to somebody, too.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I love that you're saying, I'm going to use my status. I mean, I'm an accomplished musician. People know who I am. They want to hear my tunes. Mm. But you're saying, I want to make an impact. You're taking that Stephen Lewis moment where you woke up, and you're saying, I want to do something.
Yeah, it just happened like that.
But, you know, a lot of people just sit back, and we live in Canada. It's amazing here. We don't realize how incredible we have it until you have an experience where you go to Honduras or something like that.
Well, I mean, there's you could help in Canada, and World Vision does, you know, like, you know, in some of the smaller impoverished communities, especially in the north, you know, they need help too. Yeah, so it exists in Canada too. But,
right. Let me one more question, Neil. Where are you guys heading right now as a band? I mean, you guys are still making music. What's your next project?
We go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just if you're feeling like playing or touring or singing?
Yeah, we're going to keep making music, keep playing, keep recording, keep writing.
Oh, very cool. I hear your daughters play some music.
They do. They have a band called the Blue Violets. Awesome band.
Blue Violets?
Yeah.
Can we check them out online?
Yeah, you can. There's a MySpace. I think there's a website. Certainly on iTunes.
Very cool. Must be kind of fun having kids play tunes.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Neil, thanks a lot for coming on the show, and all the best to you guys' band. You guys sound so good, and I love that you guys are involved with World Vision. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thanks.
More P3 when we come back. Reaching speeds of 45 miles per hour, Playland's wooden roller coaster is a must when hitting the amusement park. Built in 1958, it's the last roller coaster that world-famous builder Carl Fair designed and is still standing and in use. I chatted with P&E Playland spokesperson Laura Balance about the history of the coaster and the draw to the park.
Laura, we're down here at the P&E Playland. This is a magical place. It's so fun coming down here. This roller coaster, this wooden thing, I've been on it. It's fantastic. Tell me what it's like. How did it first get started? It's been around here for 50 years, isn't it?
This is its 51st year. It is something that is so special, and actually it is absolutely unique in the world. It was designed by a ride design construction team by the names of Walker Leroy and Carl Fair, and those two men have worked on everything from the cyclone, the famous cyclone at Coney Island, right through to a number of rides. What happened is this ride was built in 1958. It was actually constructed in 1956-57, opened in 1958. And in the 1970s, the rides, these wooden coasters in the United States, started getting torn down as people went to the big steel coasters. Playland at the time couldn't afford to do it. So this is actually the last remaining Walker Leroy Carl Fair roller coaster in the world. And they are to the ride industry what Steven Spielberg are and George Lucas are to the entertainment industry. These guys are legends, and we are so, so proud. And the American Coaster Enthusiasts, which is actually an 8,000-member worldwide organization, is classifying this ride as a classic and a landmark. And we're going to be the only ride in North America to have both statuses from that organization.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed is that every ride I go on, it seems to be unique because the wood shifts and changes according to temperature and day.
Absolutely. A ride at the beginning of the day is completely different at the ride at the end of the day. Wooden coasters are classified as living coasters, meaning that they move, they breathe, they bend a little. This ride is constructed of Douglas fir, West Coast Douglas fir. It's very, very special wood. It allows it to maintain its strength but not be rigid. And that is what's so special about this ride is the big steel coasters are fantastic, but they don't give you that movement and that feeling and that ambiance. And that is what's so special about this ride. That anybody that's ever ridden it, that click, 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 click. It's part of the fear factor. It's part of what builds this
you
ride.
Feel like, is this going to fall apart? But it's amazing. It's amazingly constructed.
Yeah, everybody gets off this ride and goes, oh, I almost fell out.
Right.
And, it's never happened. Right. Thank God we have a ride safety record here at Playland that is second to none in the world. This ride is probably the most highly maintained ride in the country. It has its own dedicated crew. And you know what's really interesting about this ride, which is very, very unique as well, is after this first hill, the chain takes it up the first hill, then it is entirely driven by the laws of physics. It is all whip and momentum after that initial uptake hill, and so that is so unique. There's no power going to it at all. It's the weight and the physics behind it that brings it back into the station.
Well, Laura, one of the things I'm so excited about is this has been around for so long. I can't wait to get my own daughter to try it with me because I did it when I was a kid. She's going to have her first ride today. Laura, tell me more about what's going on here. What else can people experience the wonder of the P&E and Playland?
Well, we're very lucky. We're moving into our 99th year this year at the P&E. We opened in 1910. Sir Wilfrid Laurier opened this fair in 1910. We are celebrating our 99th year as a fair this year. Playland is in its 99th season, building up to 2010, which is going to be a huge year here in Vancouver. We're one of the host venues this year. Of the Olympics, then we roll right into our 100th birthday celebrations. And this year's fair, we've really built the program to start building that excitement and building that momentum. We were recognized out of Today's Family, a huge American television program, recognized the P&E as being the best family entertainment value in Canada last year. We are very, very proud of that. We've added, there's literally this year hundreds of exhibit shows and attractions that are free with admission to the fair. So we've got everything from a nightly concert series. We've got a daily afternoon children's series featuring some of the biggest shows off the Disney Channel, other channels here in Canada, specific kids programming. We've got, of course, the Playland rides. We augment this to over 50 rides during the fair.
You guys have it's a full package. If a family wants a good time, this is a place to come. The kids will absolutely have a blast. The adults can have a fun time. There's phenomenal food. This is really a little treasure that Vancouver has. It's a real treat. Laura, thanks a lot for chatting today. All the best. I can't wait for the ride. It's going to be fun. Ah! So Tessa, that was your first time on this roller coaster. What was it like?
That was like the coolest roller coaster ever.
Really? What was it like? Tell me what you experienced.
Well, it felt like you were gonna fall out of it, like literally fall out. Cause like when you're strapped in, the seats are just, you're not like tight in there. It's just a loose bar, and then you're just like when you go down off the drops, you like stand up, and it's like so scary.
It was so freaky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I love that we got to experience that together.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Good job, babe. First time roller coaster. Woo!
Actually, a lot of fun. If you have a question or comment and want to share it with us, drop us an email at info@p3tv.ca. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Randall Mark.